of the debate action. Our analysts are here, Democrat Ed Emerson and Republican Tim Rosales. Guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So I want to get both of your takes on the debate overall. Ed, I'll start with you. What'd you think?
Excellent. I think it's odd that the California Republican Party doesn't have anybody born in the United States to run for governor. I mean, you got to go back to Schwarzenegger. Oh, he was an immigrant. Hilton's an immigrant. What's their thing with immigrants, right? I thought they hated them and wanted to round them up and go away. They were good. What's his name? Bianco?
Chad Bianco?
Chad Bianco. He was good. Hilton was good because they stayed on one particular talking point the whole night, which is that Democrats are bad. Democrats have created this mess. We need to get rid of them. I thought Katie Porter had a moment. I thought Steyer. I thought everyone did well under that amount of pressure. Nobody had any real stumbles, but no one scored any big home runs either.
Tim, your assessment.
Well, I think it's great to see debates happening in the California governor's race. I mean, just a few months ago, we were talking about this race as a snoozer, and now where are we at?
A lot has changed, right?
A lot has changed, you know, in the campaign, and to see the candidates out there, I think people are interested much more than where they were, and I think the candidates are kind of rising to the occasion. We saw some really good pointed moments, particularly on policy by Steve Hilton, Mayor Mahan from San Jose, and some others, and I thought it was a really good display for the voters to see, okay, here's what these candidates are really about. I thought that they kind of presented themselves fairly authentically in that forum.
So let's go down the list, and we'll start with how our polling played out with Emerson College. And just for viewers who might have missed what we did here, with Eric Swalwell exiting the race, we decided to re-poll before our debate to see where his voters would go, and that resulted in Javier Becerra making the stage, and also the San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan making the stage. But we have Republicans 1 and 2, so you have Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, then you have Steyer, Javier Becerra, Katie Porter, and Matt Mahan. So let's start with you, Tim. Just we'll go down the line. Steve Hilton, your assessment of him specifically and what he did.
I thought Hilton was good. He presented himself, kind of stretched his legs a little bit on policy. I think he had to do that, particularly because he's the guy with the funny British accent on stage. And so I think people were looking for him to say, okay, what do you know about California? And he demonstrated he knows quite a bit about California and also policy, and had some really defined issues and where he wants to kind of, you know, put his mark. But I thought he did a pretty good job.
What about Bianco?
You know, he's the Yosemite Sam in the race, right? I mean, a visual contrast to Steve Hilton. On policy, they are very similar. There isn't a lot of difference between the two.
Stylistically, that's where you find really the difference between the two Republican candidates. I think that's what we're seeing
with the polls, because the polls have had them relatively kind of taking the same share of Republican voters, and I think that's gonna remain. But I thought he did a good job as well.
Were you surprised that they didn't go after each other?
Not at all. I think that the Republicans are looking a little bit like, maybe we could get the top two.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. And I think that they are more apt to go after the Democrats and the kind of that policy and contrast themselves there, and, you know, see if they can elevate both of them.
All right, let's talk about the Dems. Tom Steyer, Ed, specifically.
He keeps surprising me. He's not as bad as I initially. I'm very reticent to support people that have never been involved in local politics or state politics or national politics, for that matter. I know he theoretically ran for president, but I think he got 4 votes. I thought he was way better and stood out as somebody who knew what he was talking about. He's running hard left, which I think in the primary is going to help him. I think Becerra benefited a great deal from his sort of steady sort of thing, but didn't break out. Again, as I mentioned before, no breakout moments. I think people who hadn't seen Matt Mahan before are going to be pleasantly surprised, impressed by him. If he's got enough money to stay on TV, to go on TV and stay on, that's the key. I saw ads from Becerra and Mahan almost immediately after, and I'm waiting for the Steyer barrage. Katie Porter even had a good moment. She showed a command of the facts. She did well, but I think people are looking for a Democrat to coalesce behind. I think it's going to be Javier Becerra.
You think it's going to be Javier Becerra?
Yeah,
so you're part of this Becerra train that you think it's left the station?
I think Democrats, most Democrats that